warm welcome to you. Welcome to OGTV News at 2. I am Opeyemi Adeomi. Remember, you can watch us live on Facebook at Ogun TV and Ogun State Television, on YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, check us on this platform, X at Ogun TV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. And now to the details of the news. President Bola Tinubu has signed into law the bill to domesticate the African Union Convention for the Protection and Assistance of Internally Displaced Persons in Nigeria. The legislation, also known as the Kampala Convention, seeks to strengthen humanitarian protection and uphold the rights and dignity of displaced citizens. In a statement, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives Benjamin Kalu, who sponsored the bill alongside 6 other lawmakers, described the President's assent as a significant demonstration of the federal government's commitment to addressing the plight of displaced Nigerians with empathy and urgency. Kalu commended President Tinubu for giving legal backing to the African Union Convention, noting that the law would strengthen coordination among federal and state humanitarian agencies. It says they have to improve conditions in IDP camps and host communities by addressing long-standing challenges such as overcrowded shelters, inadequate resources, and limited access to health care and education for displaced persons. Other objectives of the legislation include tackling the root causes of internal displacement in Nigeria by giving effect to the Kampala Convention Declaration in 2009, to which Nigeria and 32 other African nations were signatories, as well as align its provision with the 1999 Constitution as amended. President Bola Tinubu says his administration is committed to building a strong economy in order to bequeath a better nation to the coming generations of Nigerians. It was at the interfaith breaking of fast dinner by traditional and religious leaders in the state. President Tinubu pointed out that his administration has saved Nigeria from bankruptcy. He said that the nation's economy now is on a sound footing after the initial hardship created by his reforms. His administration is now focused on development in different socio-economic areas such as agriculture, education, health, and others. Sultan of Sokoto and Chairman of the Council of Traditional Rulers, Alhaji Sahid Abubakar III, represented by the Esu Nupe Alhaji Yahya Abubakar, acknowledged the coincidence of fasting across faiths as a pointer to the need for unity and peaceful coexistence among Nigerians.
This nation is a nation of believers and greatness in faith and value. That this nation is yours. Yes, we are challenged. The terrorists, they are very desperate now because they are getting barraged and defeated. They leave trails of blood in their fields. But I assure you one thing, Nigeria will never surrender. We're going to win and win well.
Moving on, international flight operation is set to commence at the Gateway International Airport as preparations intensify for the airlift of Muslim pilgrims to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the forthcoming Hajj. To ensure a smooth takeoff, the Ogun State Ministry of Transportation, led by its Commissioner Engineer Benga Dairo, convened a meeting with aviation stakeholders across security, safety, and operations to review the level of preparedness for the commencement of international flights from the airport.
So by the conclusion of our meeting today, it was clear to them that the airport has the necessary infrastructure, it has the necessary management team in place and to support the operations, But of course, we are conscious that this will be the first international operation from this airport, and therefore there are some other important requirements to support international operations, and all those were discussed today, and we assured them that the government is ready to provide what is necessary to ensure that it works well for pilgrims and of course for the state and for the country as a whole.
The Commissioner described the airport as a key component of the state development agenda and an opportunity to showcase the economic potential of Ogun State and Nigeria to the global community. He noted that the facility will position the state as a strategic destination for investment, tourism, and economic activities, while also demonstrating Nigerians' capacity in aviation and infrastructure development.
All the business themselves have promised to get back to us after visiting them with our specific needs and requirements, and they will respond and tell us what has to be in place from an operational point of view so that they can do their job as is required and as they do in other airports across the country. We heard from NCA today that we are one of the designated airports for Hajj operations, so that's very positive news. But already officially NCA has recognized Gateway International Airport as a potential airport for Hajj operations this year. So these are some of the conclusions of today's meeting.
Engineer Gbenga Dairo also called on federal agencies operating at the airport, including the Nigerian Police Force, Nigerian Immigration Service, Nigerian Customs Service, and the Nigerian Correctional Service, to collaborate closely with the state government to ensure smooth and efficient operations. The annual Ramadan fast palliative distribution exercise initiated by the present administration in Ogun State is still ongoing as the distribution team visited the Itori Central Mosque and the Ifo Central Mosque. At the Itori Central Mosque, the Chief Imam Alhaji Abdul Rashid Adegboyega expressed delight at the gesture put in place by the Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun. The Chief Imam prayed for his administration and for a successful completion of his tenure, while requesting God for more wisdom for the Governor and for continued peace in Ogun State. Also speaking, the welfare officer of the mosque, Alhaji Mudashiru Fajobi, noted that the welfareism gesture of the Governor would not go unnoticed, as it has become a yearly routine, especially during the Ramadan fast. He prayed for continued peace and prosperity in the state. At the Ifo Central Mosque, the Chief Imam Alhaji Sanusi applauded the attitude of giving as one of the tenets of Islam and appreciated the Governor for this, and while praying for the continued peace enjoyed in the state. He also prayed for the Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun that God should elongate his life with good health and happiness. The Chief Imam equally prayed for abundant prosperity for the people of Ogun State. A beneficiary of the distributed rice, Alhaji Wasiu Odebodi, expressed excitement at the gesture and equally prayed for the Governor, the government, and the citizens of the state. Moving on, in a bid to strengthen spiritual bonds and promote peaceful coexistence, the member representing Shagamu State Constituency 1 and Chairman House Committee of Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption at the Ogun State House of Assembly, Damilare Muhammad Bello, has hosted the 2026 edition of his annual Ramadan lecture, calling for unity, tolerance, and spiritual growth among constituents. The event held at the Palace Open Ground in Shagamu drew Muslim faithful, community leaders, and political associates, with the Olori Afa of Remola Sheikh Kazim Musbaldin serving as the guest speaker. Kolawole Osho covered the event. Details of his report are in this package.
Member representing Shagamu State Constituency 1, Honorable Damilare Muhammad Bello, has established a strong tradition of hosting an annual Ramadan lecture aimed at fostering spiritual growth and community unity. Honorable Bello, as a dedicated Muslim who has consistently organized this spiritual gathering for over 6 years, emphasizes that the event is a way of giving back to the people and encouraging the values of charity, noting that the holy month of Ramadan offers a unique opportunity for leaders and citizens to reconnect with their Creator and to seek divine guidance for the challenges facing the nation.
What is best to be doing during Ramadan is to be reading Holy Quran. For some of us who are not privileged to be able to read the Holy Quran. We should get closer to places where Holy Quran have been recited. So that's the reason for bringing up this program annually, so that at a point in time, people will come together and listen to the word of God.
He, however, thanks the constituents for their unwavering support and promises to continue its legislative interventions aimed at improving the lives of the people of Shagamu, while reiterating his commitment to inclusive governance, adding that the Ramadan lecture is open to all, regardless of political affiliation, as a symbol of unity. The guest speaker for the 2026 edition, Olori Afa of Remo Land, Fadilat Sheikh Kozim Musbaudin, who spoke on the topic returning favor in Islam, act of give and take, also reminds the congregants that every individual in a position of power would eventually account for their stewardship to both God and man.
The purpose of this program is to teach us what is good and forbid what is bad. If somebody did something more for you, if he has the capacity to do more than what he did, and do it.
He commended Honorable Bello for his consistency in prioritizing the spiritual welfare of his people, urging other political office holders to emulate the lawmaker's gesture, stressing that true representation involves not only physical infrastructure, but also the moral and spiritual uplifting of the community. The chairman of the occasion, Honorable Ladia Debutu, who was represented by Honorable Jami Oyenuga among other dignitaries at the event, took turns to laud the lawmaker's grassroots connection, describing him as a representative who remains accessible and responsive to the needs of his people. The event was rounded off by turbaning of Honorable Damilare Bello as Baba Adini as Salatu Samfat Eleja Shagamu. Special prayers were offered by the Grand Chief Imam of Remo Land, Fadilat Sheikh Abdul Qadri Junaid, for the lawmaker, Ogun State, and the nation at large.
Politicians and public office holders in Nigeria have been urged to reflect on the spiritual virtues of the holy month of Ramadan by embracing sincerity, accountability, and compassion in governance. The call came from the guest lecturer at the 17th annual Ramadan lecture of the Har Rama Zakat Foundation, Professor Adams Olufemi Akeola, who emphasizes beyond fasting, the principles of Ramadan should guide public service, especially in addressing Nigerians' current economic and security challenges. Binga Adekoya's report is presented in this package.
The Al-Rahman Zakat Foundation organized the annual Ramadan lecture to promote Islamic teachings and social responsibility among the Muslim faithful. This year's lecture themed Economic Justice in Islam attracts Muslim faithful from Ijebu-Ode and its environs, creating a platform to reflect on faith, charity, and societal responsibility. The chairman of the foundation, Engineer Femi Omotayo Omoru, cautioned against limiting acts of kindness, charity, and worship to the Ramadan period alone. He stressed that the true essence of Ramadan lies in translating its lessons into everyday conduct and service to humanity.
Equity, justice, and fairness to everybody. Using the word salam in Islam, which means peace. When you say salam alaikum to a second person, it's wishing them well. And the essence of my speech is that actual statement, let's put it into practice. Let's wish all our brothers well, and let's act in a well manner to all our brothers and sisters.
Chairman of the occasion, Honorable Jelilu Kayode Amusha, also emphasizes the need for peaceful coexistence among people of different faiths in order to promote unity and stability in society.
Islamic principles such as zakat, salat, honest trade, and fair wages encourage the distribution of wealth and compassion towards the poor and vulnerable. Values that Muslims are reminded to strengthen during Ramadan.
The chief lecturer, Professor Adams Olufemi Akeola of the Department of Islamic and Arabic Studies, University of Ibadan, speaks extensively on the topic, highlighting the importance of justice, fairness, and compassion in economic dealings.
Our God is the owner, is the dominion of the heaven and the earth. I am entrusted to the children of Adam and Israel, especially the Muslims. So what is now our own responsibility? Our responsibility is that when we ask, we give out. The first thing for us to do is to uphold with the institution of zakat, which is the third pillar of Islam.
Goodwill messages also come from notable personalities at the event. They encourage residents to build healthy relationships founded on unity, tolerance, and mutual respect, rather than division and discord.
Traditional rulers and Muslim clerics have emphasized the crucial role of the Muslim Ummah in promoting national security and combating injustice in Nigeria. They made the call at the Tinubu Yayi public lecture organized by the Jam Dalot Support Group, urging Nigerians to unite in addressing insecurity and strengthening peaceful coexistence across the country. Taiwo Fabajo reports.
Revisiting the role of the Muslim Ummah in achieving national security and combating injustice, the public lecture attracts traditional rulers, Islamic scholars, community leaders, and members of various Muslim associations. The public lecture was held in Owode in Imekoafon local government area. Guest speaker Sheikh Muhammad Raji advocates education, economic empowerment, and community engagement programs as a key strategies to address the root causes of insecurity. According to him, Muslims must promote understanding with other communities while rejecting extremism and violence.
When we have patience, our encounters, in all our difficulties, the problem we have is not.
Participants at the lecture also call for peaceful coexistence to achieve justice, fairness, and compassion as emphasized in Islam.
What we can do is we, the community, not only the people in government, we need to assist. If you see anything happening in your area, you think you can easily let the security operatives know what is going on. Alert them. So we are also part of it, that we are going to protect the insecurity in our various communities.
To enhance justice, peace, and security in the country, all of us have to see ourselves as one. We must tolerate ourselves as brothers and sisters. We should also show love and compassion to ourselves. So by respecting ourselves, respecting the rule of law, I believe with that, insecurity and other vices can be curbed.
The convener of the program explains that the choice of the theme is aimed at raising awareness and further highlighting the role of Muslim leaders in promoting peace and security.
Alhamdulillah, we thank God that our present President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has been able to try so much enough to cut the insecurity to some minimal level. We cannot say it's totally eradicated.
Earlier, the finals of Quran competitions were held with gift items presented to winners. Participants also offered prayers for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the political aspirations of Senator Olamilekan Adeola. Taiwo Fabajo, OGTV News.
Women must be accorded their rights and protected from all forms of abuse in order to strengthen families and build a better society. The Grand Tijaniya of Yoruba Land, Edo and Delta Sheikh Alawad Dinekon stated this at the 2026 International Women's Day celebration and the 40th anniversary of the Federation of Muslim Women Association of Nigeria Ogun State Chapter, held in collaboration with the State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development. The event also featured the inauguration of an NYSC lodge in honor of the late Prince Bola Ajibola. Details are in this report.
Attention shifts to issues affecting women as the Federation of Muslim Women's Association of Nigeria, Form 1, Ogun State Chapter, commemorates this year's International Women's Day. The celebration, themed Women's Justice, Action for All Women and Girls, also coincided with the 40th anniversary of the association. As part of the activities, an NYSC lodge is donated in honor of the late Prince Bola Ajibola in recognition of his contributions to humanity and national development. The Grand Tijaniya of Yoruba Land, Edo and Delta, Sheikh Alao Adenekon, commends the association for championing the cause of Muslim women and advocating their emancipation and protection from abuse. In her opening address, the Amira of Form 1 in Ogun State, Alaja Zainab Jinadu, describes the day
are significant for women and girls around the world striving for dignity, equality, and opportunity, stressing that strengthening women's rights remains essential.
I commend our president for asking the deliberate parliamentary press towards increasing women's representation in parliament and other areas of government. If we fully embrace and support this development, it will strengthen democracy nationwide and by extension in the state. Yet, when we suggest progress, we must not ignore painful reality. There is the suffering right in the demonization of girls through rape, child labor, child abuse, trafficking, and other things.
Delivering separate measures, Alaja Rashida Ibrahim and Islamia Yunus call for deliberate actions to address the challenges confronting women and girls in the society.
We are victims of injustice and even neglect of. Women are easily demonstrated, not when we keep trying to push.
The event also featured good messages from dignitaries, recognition of individuals for their contributions to the association, and the inauguration of the NYC Lodge by Prince Mohammed Ajibola, represented by the Secretary General of Islamic Mission for Africa.
The United States has announced plan to place the Sudanese Muslim Brotherhood under terrorism sanction, with the designation expected to take effect later this month. The plan was disclosed on Monday in a press statement by the United States Department of State, signed by the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. In the statement titled Terrorist Designation of the Sudanese Muslim Brotherhood, Rubio said the department has designated the group as a specially designated global terrorist and intends to list it as a foreign terrorist organization effective March 16, 2026. He alleged that the group has been involved in violence against civilians amid ongoing conflict in Sudan. The U.S. Secretary of State further accused the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps of supporting extremist activities. And finally, in the world of sport, the Nigerian senior women basketball team, the Tigers, have begun training in France ahead of the FIBA Women Basketball World Cup qualifying tournament 2026, which starts on Wednesday in Lyon. The seven-time African champions arrived in Lyon for the tournament scheduled to take place from March 11 to 17, with the team confirming their arrival through a video shared on their official social media platform. The Tigers will open their campaign against Colombia on Wednesday before facing South Korea on March 12, the Philippines on March 14, host France on March 15, and Germany on March 17. Tigers previously made history at the FIBA Women Basketball World Cup 2018 in Spain, becoming the first African team to progress from the group stage after defeating Turkey and Argentina. And that wraps up the news at 2. Many thanks for watching. Well, welcome to the end of the news, and thanks for watching.